The first person that I would have dinner with would be the Apostle Paul. I was always fascinated. I'm a Christian. I was fascinated with the Apostle Paul. You know, he basically wrote the entire New Testament. You know, he was a lawyer just like I was. He was a Sanhedrin. He was on the Jewish court, the Pharisees' court. And like I said, he was a Sanhedrin, which is kind of typical to what our Supreme Court is now. And you know, back in biblical times, you know, God had passed a law where there were 500 laws, and so he interpreted those laws, and it was very interesting. And then how he went from being Saul of Tarsus, and then when he met God and saw the angel, he became Paul. And then his plight and his journey of changing his life from his 30s until till the end of time, and just preaching the word all across. And all the things that he endured, which were, you know, the scarrings, they said he was shipwrecked 7 times, he was beaten 5 times, he was imprisoned 3 times, he was bit by a snake, he was starved. And it's just real interesting. I would love to know and just sit down with him and just to see his fierceness, his tenacity. You know, the second one is, it's somebody definitely that, it would be our 16th president, Abraham Lincoln. I always wonder and I ponder, you know, every time I see a $5 bill or, you know, the Lincoln Memorial, what he must have endured. Can you imagine a time? I would love to just sit down and just try to understand his frame of mind. He ended up losing his life over a civil war. They said he was a solitary man. There was a lot of times where he just spent in time and faith and tried to make the best decisions for our country. And I think that, you know, that's why he will go down as the greatest president that we've ever had. Lastly, this person is, you know, I'm a big baseball fan. I love baseball. I've always loved baseball, played it at a young age. There's a manager by the name of Tony La Russa. And I was always fascinated that he also had a law degree, but instead of practicing law, he became a manager. And he was a very successful manager, a World Series winner. Baseball and the law remind me a lot of each other. It's all about that analytical thinking, that logical reasoning. You know, he managed for over 25 years, and just to think all the decisions that he had to make on a daily night, very similar to what I do here at the law firm on a daily basis, where you're making decisions and you're making intellectual decisions. You know, and baseball is a game of inches, and so is the law. The wrong witness, you know, picking the wrong venari sometimes, you know, not doing the closing argument correctly. There's just a lot of parallel between success and failure. And you know, like I said, you know, baseball is a game of inches, and you know, there's an old saying that there's a thin line between love and hate, and there's even a thinner line between success and failure. And I think that would be one incredible dinner, being able to sit down with Tony La Russa. So Paul, the Apostle Paul, Abraham Lincoln, and Tony La Russa is who I would have dinner with.